Right, of course, because I should know who that is.
I don't care what you think.
It's
I'll tell you something that rubbed me right.
Felger and Mazz on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Anthony now chatting with the umpire, and here comes Tracy.
I feel like is he looking at his right hand or wrist? Yeah, he sure is. He's stretching it out.
Trainer out as well.
It was a weird swing, almost like a kind of a abbreviated swing. And, this is where you worry about, like, hamate and things like that. But you see how he cuts his swing off like that?
Yeah.
And then sometimes when you do that, when you're swinging full speed, you can really run into some issues with hands and wrists. I haven't dealt with that a lot when I played.
Yeah, I got x-rays right after it happened, so they looked negative. And I'm going to go evaluate with a hand specialist tomorrow and, leave it up to them and probably get an MRI to see, what's actually going on. But that's what I know.
What did you feel?
Just took a swing and it didn't feel good. And as I came back in and went under to continue to swing, it just was painful.
Right on the top of the hand, the wrist?
Yeah, top of the hand.
Is it swollen, bruised, anything?
Nothing swollen really, like visible on the outside. But again, I don't know much about the hand. I've never dealt with a hand anything, so gonna leave that up to the hand specialist to see what he's got.
He's back in Boston seeing a hand specialist. Mazz, your thoughts?
Yeah, not good. I mean, again, first thing I thought of was a hamate injury. It's an easy one. Common thing, the knob of the bat kind of rests in the bone at the bottom of the wrist, and a lot of guys have trouble with that bone to the point where it has to get replaced or removed. There's a bone there, a piece of the bone they can take out to eliminate the problem, but it's a surgery. I like Murray's question, the one that he put in the email. Go ahead, Murray.
Is some of this have to do with these Driveline a-holes? Because there's been a lot of injuries to guys in the lineup because the emphasis that these Driveline grifter a-holes put on launch angle, bat speed. And the way to achieve that is what? Swinging hard, right? So going back a couple of years, Rafael Devers, March of 2024. Devers hurt his shoulder hitting off a pitching machine during spring training. Tristan Casas, one of his many injuries, coming out of a game against Pittsburgh, April 2024, after fouling off a 3-1 pitch, left him wincing in pain. Injury had started to form in his first at-bat in a game against the Guardians 3 days earlier. Marcelo Meyer, last July, felt a little tight grab in my wrist when I took a swing in my second at-bat. Roman Anthony, last September, one of his now many injuries, Roman Garoppolo, exited the game in September 2025, bottom of the fourth inning, left oblique tightness after striking out, said he felt initial tightness on a check swing during the at-bat. Tristan Casas again, this past April, shut down, swinging because of sore ribs. Christian Campbell, last May, and now Roman Anthony again. I think it could be something. Again, these Driveline grifter a-holes want you to focus on launch angle, bat speed. How do you achieve that? Swing hard. Swinging hard, I would think, probably leads to more injuries.
It's as good a theory as anything. I mean, you tell me. They all get hurt. How many freaking injuries has Casas had? Obliques, rib cage, all the time something with him. And now, again, the knee was something different, but a 25-year-old guy dislocates a kneecap? Now, that was running to first base. But I also think the whole launch angle thing, it doesn't feel like a natural swing to me. There's a jerking motion there where and it puts strain on your front side. It feels like it does. I know these guys are superior athletes, but that injury, Anthony gets hurt a lot or has gotten hurt a lot for a guy who's been in the big leagues less than a year.
So is it Driveline or are they just soft?
Could be that. Maybe a combination of the two. You got me.
Or the fact they've gotten paid.
Maybe that.
Didn't Cora talk about the downside or the flip side of signing these young players?
Yep, he did. And so Anthony got a big contract. Christian Campbell got a contract. Now, Casas did not. Devers did. So, I mean, there are, we can certainly go case by case. But I think you add it all up, and I just worry about what kind of carrots are you dangling in front of these guys. And so they all now expect to get look at all the young guys in baseball, they're getting these big deals right away. It used to be that you had to kind of put your time in, and when you built a roster, those young guys were expected to grind. Like, they were expected to bring energy and fight and all that stuff, and the veteran guys were there to keep the ship even keeled so that there wasn't an overreaction to anything, and you needed both. Now I think the whole thing is so out of whack, especially here, because they don't have any old guys to keep the boat, on the right keel or on an even keel. So to me, everything's in play with the Red Sox now with that freaking clown show. They're a mess.
But him being out, I mean, for now, what's it really mean? The difference between 72 wins and 75 if he goes in the IL for a couple of weeks? I don't think it's going to matter for this season. My bigger question about Roman Anthony is, did we all kind of overhype this kid? And should we readjust our expectations for what he is? The power never really came. Strikes out a ton. Is that some of the approach? Again, some of the Driveline thing? But this kid was made the face of the franchise, whether he wanted it or not, at 21, and he hadn't lived up to it yet.
And is he mature enough for it?
Right.
Mike, he's hitting 229.
And you hear all the stuff about, off the field, kind of extracurriculars, stuff like that. Yeah. way too anointed way too early.
Yeah, definitely. He's hitting 229. With his ability and all the exit velocity numbers and all that bull crap they were shoving down our throats last year, 229, he's got as many walks as hits almost. So that's what I'm going to pay that guy all that money for, to walk? That's it? Something's not right over there, clearly. I mean, I'm not shedding any light, but they are so effed up it isn't even funny. And, I said this to you quickly yesterday. They might have to rip the whole thing apart and start all over again. After all that, an 8-year rebuild, 2 GMs, they could get to this point and have to rip it all apart and start all over again with a high pick from this draft.
That's how it feels. And
are they in contention for the number 1 overall pick?
Yes.
Yeah. It's like them and the Mets, I think Mazz said yesterday. And we often get accused of, you guys helped drive that guy out of town. Well, in this case, I hope it's true. I want to drive the Driveline grifter a-holes out of town. I want to be at the forefront of this. This is why I brought this up today. Maybe it's a crackpot theory. I don't know. But I want to bring it to the table because I want them to go. I hate them.
The Angels have the most losses in baseball at 23. The Red Sox have 21. You're in it.
You're in it?
You're in it.
At least they're in some kind of race.
Yeah, no, you're in it. I mean, again, we might have to do the Bizarro World Baseball Hour this year. Everything's backwards.
Yep.
So wins are losses and losses are wins. So last night hurt.
Bad win. But good news, Roman Anthony may have broken his hand. Or something along those lines. I exaggerated for effect. You know what I'm saying. Yeah. Again,
we wish people no ill.
In the reverse world is what the spirit of what I was saying there. But either way, there's your Red Sox, your daily Red Sox minute, which we are committed to every day. Every day. I don't care how irrelevant they become this season. Every day.
Yep.
They're going to get something.
They're going to feel it.
And if you call and you want to call us on it, by all means, 617-779-0985. Back to you after these words.
Now, more of Felger and Mazz. Now, on the Sports Hub.
Runners will get a head start on a 3-2 pitch. And here comes. And he struck him out. Caught him looking, side retired. 2 more stranded for the Red Sox. 0-0.
This play stuck out to me.
And I was watching it live. And was it runners on first and second or bases loaded?
I don't remember exactly, but there were 2 men. There were multiple men on base.
There were men on. Marcelo Meyer was up at the plate. I think it was either a 2-2 pitch or a 3-2 pitch. And he struck out looking. And I said to myself, well, I'm not sure what he was looking for there, but it definitely wasn't a fastball right down the middle.
Yep.
Because it was a straight down the Schmenzer fastball down the middle of the plate. And he turned around and walked to the dugout. I said, that was odd. So why did you want to play that?
Because the Red Sox seem to me to have an inordinate number of strikeouts looking, particularly with men on base. And Meyer sticks out to me because, again, I'm just picking up dribs and drabs from people about their offensive approach and what have you. And from what I understand, part of the Driveline process is looking for balls on the inner half of the plate so that you can drive them. I mean, most hitters can't hit the ball out to the opposite field. Okay, the elite ones can. Yordan Alvarez, David Ortiz. And at Fenway Park, it's beneficial for a left-handed hitter to do that every single time. I mean, Wade Boggs went to the Hall of Fame because of it. So he played pepper with the left field wall, fly balls turn into doubles. So you can get lots of hits doing that. The Red Sox don't encourage that, but based on what I can understand. Mm-hmm. So a lot of their guys like Anthony, like Meyer, particularly the young guys who came up and were taught to hit a certain way, won't swing at fastballs on the other side of the plate. And I think the opposition knows it.
Because you can't drive them.
Correct. So now again, so you had a situation last night, I believe it was 2 men on, Mike, if I'm looking at this right. Rafaela, it was first and second with 2 outs. So in that situation, there's a run on second base there. Single scores a run. And then you haven't exactly been striking gold every time you take the field. So you should be willing to take every run you can get. And Marcelo Meyer's not swinging at a pitch on the outer half of the plate because he can't drive it on a full count?
Poke it into left field?
Absolutely. If that's what they're going to give you, that's what you have to take. And so this is just a quick thing. I say this over and over again. I can't emphasize it enough. Pitchers have made bad baseball managers, and I'm going to carry that over and say I think bad GMs. I can't remember many pitchers who have been general managers. When you pitch, the game's proactive. You have the ball. You control it. So it all starts with you. Hitting is reactive. If Meyer gets a pitch away and the only thing he can do with it is to hit it the other way, that's it. Anything else is an out. You have to react. If they are trying to teach them to proact offensively, you're going to get a lot of easy outs. And I think that's what they're going to be. I mean, that pitch last night.
Oh, my God.
Seriously.
Straight down the middle. You say outer half. It felt to me it's just straight.
What are you doing?
Straight down the middle.
When I say outer half, I mean like.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Right.
It wasn't middle in.
Yeah, it wasn't middle in. Better way. Right. It might have been right down the middle.
But, yeah, put that on the Driveline guys, too. If you can't drive it, don't swing at it.
Right. So now what? A 2-out single to the opposite field's no good?
It's not what they teach.
Oh, my God. It's idiotic.
Back to your thoughts. Griffin and Ayer. Yes, Griffin. I said Griffin and Ayer.
Sorry about that. Yeah, so I just wanted to start off by saying I'm obviously a big Jaylen Brown fan. I'm a big Celtics fan, but I'm surprised Stu chose to keep, if you wanted to pick one, JB over Tatum. I just think, the plus-minus for the series, Tatum was a plus 28, Brown was a minus 23. I get all the play style might be more pleasing with Jaylen Brown on the floor, and he had a great year, but the Celtics are unequivocally a better team when it's just Tatum on the floor compared to just Brown. The net rating on and off.
Your rating says that.
They're much. What was that?
Your rating says that, yes.
Yeah, the net rating says that. Maybe to the eye it's not as pleasing, but
I know
you don't like analytics, but sometimes the numbers don't really lie when the team performs better when one's on and one's off.
Well, that's the analytics. You watched them all season long. When were they at their best?
Well, they clearly weren't at their best when Brown had to step up in Game 7 and Tatum wasn't playing.
That wasn't their best. That's true. I think they were at their best during portions of the regular season.
I would agree. When
it was a fully Jaylen Brown operation.
Yeah, my only pushback on that would be the same thing I said to you at the time. That was the regular season.
Yeah, no, it's fair.
Right.
It's fair.
So that's, when the playoffs, the defense is different. It just is. You can see guys dig in, get up on guys, they take away space. And so, to me, this knocked Brown back down a notch for me this series.
Absolutely, me too. If that caller had called me 2 weeks ago, I'd be all in, turn it all over to Jaylen Brown. But after the way he played, most importantly, and how he's carried himself since, it's shaken me a little bit on my Jaylen Brown support. It has. It should have shaken everybody. Brandon in Boston, what do you got for us, Brandon?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Thanks for taking my phone call. I'll be very quick on this. So, I'm out on Jaylen Brown. I was never a real fan of him. He's the type of player that doesn't get me excited as much as Tatum does. So, he's the type of player that's always mouthy, always has an opinion, a player that always needs a hug and validation. If you always have to cater to a guy like that, get him out of here. So the first trade I give you is Giannis. You talk about 92, being down 1 point, 92-91 in the fourth quarter, 5 minutes left. Giannis smells blood, and he wins that game for you. I know for a fact Giannis wins that game for you. And another trade, ship him to Sacramento, and this is how you do it. Jaylen Brown, Luka Garza, and a 2027 first-round pick for Sabonis and Malik Monk. Done.
Okay, let me stop you.
Sabonis is 30 and just tore his meniscus, so I'm out there.
All right,
You'll have to tell me more about Malik Monk.
So, again, Brown's 30, right? What did we just look at Brown's age?
Yeah.
29?
No torn meniscus, though.
No. Okay, but you're not losing much in age for Sabonis. How about his play style? Let me go back to that, Mazz. Does that fit with Jason Tatum?
Maybe.
He's 6'10". I mean, he is their center, but.
Yeah, he's not a great defender, but, I mean, he can shoot from the perimeter. He's a good passer. You could do worse than that. Yeah, you could do worse than that.
How about Eric in Maine? Go ahead, Eric.
So I think the two comments that Jaylen Brown had are kind of related in that I think we've all dealt with like narcissistic people in our lives. But when you say, it's one thing to say the refs were bad that night or you don't like how the officiating is going in the NBA. It's another thing to say they're conspiring against me. Like it's all about him. And then, imagine if Bird had a season ending or, maybe career altering injury and McHale had to lead the team and they were out in the first round and he said, the best season I've ever had. We'd kill him. I'm out on this guy.
Most fun.
If I was Tatum, I'd walk into the office and say him or me.
Yeah, most fun I've ever had. The year without Jason Tatum, the most fun I've ever had. And he didn't draw the two, but what else are you supposed to do? How are you supposed to say it? You're separate.
It's unbelievable. It really is. It's unbelievable.
Your work calls you away for 2 months overseas. And you're away from your wife for 2 months, or you're deployed, or
best 2 months I ever had.
Come home and the wife said that was the most fun I've ever had in those 2 months. Again, I say I take a week off. I come back and Mazz and Stu and Murray that was the best week we've had on the show in a long, long time.
What's anyone supposed to?
How am I supposed to read that?
Yeah, right.
So when Jaylen Brown says this year's the most fun I've ever had, when he talks Saturday night, Saturday specifically, in defeat, he says I wish we would do this more often. How else are you supposed to read that?
No,
it's just so blatant.
No, it is. It's like I'm telling you, it's that old line. A guy said to me at the golf course once, 5 greatest words in the English language. Honey, have a great trip.
Michael and Natick. Go ahead, Michael.
Hey, Felger. So I would love to know what the net rating was for Jason Tatum in Game 7. I mean, Jaylen Brown showed up. We're kind of forgetting that. And, let me refer back to the early 2000s. It's like with Shaq and Kobe on the Lakers. Game 7, playing the Sacramento Kings, and Kobe just sits. They lose, and then comes out post-game and says, well, if we would have won, I would have played in the finals. I mean, it's the same thing here. If it's me, yes, both guys don't make the best comments, Tatum as well. So I'm putting Brown aside for a second. If it's me, I'm choosing Brown. I'm trading Tatum because you're going to get the most return for him immediately and the future.
So you're implying there that Tatum's he could have played, but he sat it out to expose everybody else and not put himself in harm's way.
No, I think he sat it out because he's soft. He's mentally soft. He's not there to be a champion. He's just not that guy. He admires Kobe so much, but Kobe's not sitting out in Game 7 against the Sacramento Kings.
Mike, Tatum has played more games than any other superstar in the league for the last several years.
Totally a fair point.
So it's just, there's some parts to Tatum's game that are soft. That documentary and how he carried on with the injury was so freaking soft. I can't even, and when I say carrying on, I mean, not the way he came back. He came back in good time and worked hard to come back. That's not soft. But my God.
He played up a routine surgery that happens to players throughout the league.
The mental anguish, like to get over the hurdle of going back and playing in Madison Square Garden, like all that over-dramatic nonsense was soft. But he came back in a hard-nosed fashion, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
So I don't think Tatum's soft like that. I think if he could have played, he would have played. I've got to give him that benefit of the doubt because that's how he's carried himself his entire career.
No, look, it's a good point. You mentioned it yesterday. He's not a guy that typically sits.
And again, when he and Mazz, it's a reasonable mistake to make. But people are like, yeah, he tapped out of Game 7 against Miami. No, he didn't. He twisted his ankle on the second trip down the floor and then played over 41 minutes. He played. He didn't tap out of that game. He was ineffective. He was barely there, but he was on the floor. So I've seen him play through injury in Game 7. My guess is it's worse than they're letting on because that's typically what the Celtics do.
That's probably right.
The Celtics don't, and you Celtics fans, these last 48 hours notwithstanding, typically don't deal well with bad news.
It's definitely what it is. Oh, Kyrie Irving's knee's no problem. It just needs to be cleaned up. Kemba Walker's knee, just fine, needs to be cleaned up. Robert Williams, just fine. Kevin Garnett, just fine. How many times over the last 25 years when it comes to Celtics injury news? Oh, nothing to see here. Then you find out it's something major a week or two down the road.
When they're saying he could have played or he's saying he could have played, my guess is that's a lie. That it's worse than they're letting on because that's typically what they do.
So when I start hearing behind the knee, I start thinking calf, and then I think, well, maybe his other Achilles is barking now.
Yeah, when he was in Game 6 when he was trying to stretch that thing out, if in my mind's eye, he was stretching the leg. He wasn't like flexing the knee. Was he? I mean, maybe if I missed it, but it wasn't like they were like digging around in his knee. He was trying to stretch out his leg. So I'd be surprised if the knee is even a lie, as you said, Max, behind the knee.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's reasonable to assume if one Achilles pops at a certain time of your career, what kind of shape is the other one in? So I don't know. I'm just asking.
Back to your thoughts right after Murray's update. We'll back to the phones for the 5 o'clock hour, Mazz, unless you have a fresh thought for us.
God, no.
Felger and Mazz, 98.5 Sports Hub.
It's just an annoying team. Yeah, the Celtics are just an annoying team. And I don't want to be more harsh than that about it. But I just can't believe how many times you can watch them and go, so you guys are just going to do this again, huh? And then it just doesn't seem like anybody's like pulling everyone aside and going, hey, we are about to f this up, guys.
Ryan Masillo being kind, calling them annoying. That's being generous. But nope, they're just going to do the exact same thing because the coach is limited, Ryan, as you know, as most everyone knows. The coach is limited. Back to your calls. Joanne in Connecticut. Hi, Joanne.
Hi, Mike. Yeah, I can only hope. I really can only hope that Brad Stevens will announce that Missoula is fired and that we're looking to trade him. Brown's lame comments after that game is a fireable offense, to use Mazz's term. And, yeah, his bad attitude is just going to affect the team. He and his turnovers can go. I am over it. I am fed up. And the game, late in the fourth quarter, we're down by 1. Tata was wide open, and Brown doesn't see him because what does Brown do? Jack up a 3. So I'm over it. And as far as Tatum, listen, that guy, he would have definitely been playing if he could have. He defied the odds. He came back. He would definitely have played.
Okay.
So whoever it was, Mike and Natick, you're wrong about Tatum. He would have played. So I don't know. It's very, very disappointing, the whole thing.
Thanks, Joanne. Team Tatum. Joanne in Connecticut, obviously.
Do you think Brown has a bad attitude?
No.
Me neither. I think that's the wrong way to say it.
Selfish, though.
I mean, but I think just about every star player in the NBA is selfish. I mean, they all want the ball. So I just think that, and I think for the most part, they've held it together. Like they generally have shared on the floor when it's come time to share.
I think the last couple days really bad form for Jaylen
brutal.
Brown. And the thing I wanted to pick up on was I think where the play where Kata was wide open was where Brown kicked to the corner.
To Pritchard he did, yeah.
To Pritchard. That, I blame the play style of the team. How many times do you see it? It happens in the NBA all the time. Guy's driving for a layup and he kicks out for an open corner 3. And so this is an NBA problem, but the Celtics have obviously taken it to an extreme. The most efficient shot in the game is the open corner 3. And they want you to give up the easy 2 to kick out for what is deemed to be an easy 3. And that is the problem with analytics. That's just something that's on paper. It doesn't apply when there's 2 minutes left in Game 7 of a high-pressure playoff game, and you're trying to win a game and you're down 1 basket. You're down 1 point, not even a basket. You're down a point. You're down 1 point. There's 2 minutes left. It's Game 7, and everyone is crapping themselves.
So this is why something doesn't add
That's
up.
why, at that point, the dunk is a more efficient shot than an open corner, but that's not what they've been drilled to do. They've been drilled to kick out to the open corner 3. Yes, Murray?
But something doesn't add up with Jaylen Brown's commentary on this because he'll take these kind of shots about the analytics, but that particular play he's asked about in the stream and said, I would have done that same thing over and over again 100 times out of 100. He's not giving it to Kata, who's wide open underneath. So what are you getting at? Just come out and say you don't like the coach because the coach prefers Jason Tatum, because that's what I think it's really about.
I say he doesn't like when Tatum makes that pass. He likes when he makes it.
Bingo. So that, I think you're closer to the bone. Is it really play style or who's at the focus of whatever play style we're running?
Exactly.
Jose is in the car. Yes, Jose.
Yeah, I think we're in a live adaptation of that, bad movie Dinner for Schmucks, where it's the idiot entertaining and trying to make the other idiots at the table laugh. Between the Red Sox, the Patriots, the Bruins, all of these teams in Boston, they all are just, out trying to compete each other on who can do things dumber, to be honest. I mean, and what's funny? A genuine question. Tristan Casas and Joe Mazzulla related? Because I swear they both like to sound like they're the smartest person in the room and answer these questions with super high intelligence.
You can add Jeremy Swayman if you're familiar with his work.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Swayman, Casas, Mazzulla, they all talk that same...
The know-it-all meeting.
But this, new wave gobbledygook.
Oh, yeah, complete garbage.
Complete trash.
Swayman's a good one, man.
It's the same kind of thing. You want to just, shove something down their larynx so you don't have to listen to them. Yeah. How about Tommy and Lynn? What do you got to say today, Tommy?
All right. Before you get to my call, I'm on the bus. But anyways, I'm on my way to Salem. I want to say something about this team, Felger. This team played really, really bad. Jaylen Brown with those turnovers were very, very unacceptable. And you know what? I think we should move on from him. The way he's been talking and going after the referees, too, on his Twitch channel. Come on, man. That's unprofessional if he wants to be an NBA star.
Tommy, are people looking at you funny on the bus, shouting at sports radio?
No, they don't care.
Attaboy, love you, Tommy.
That is great. Tommy's like, what are you talking about?
Pete in Rockland. Go ahead, Pete.
Hey, guys, I just want to know, they hired Theo, but I've never heard anything that he does. I don't know what he's doing there. If you have an asset like that for your company, why aren't you utilizing it in one way or another? Kennedy, schmuck, anyone, Bresbot, whatever they call him, schmuck. They have to fix the front office to get the team on the field, and I don't get it. Is he walking around still in the gorilla suit?
I don't
understand it.
Yeah, so this dinner for schmucks thing, you got to tell me about.
I haven't seen it either.
never seen it.
Okay.
No, me neither.
The a lot of seats at the table, though, around here right now. True. What does Theo do? I think he's on the golf thing.
Yeah, it's a lot. But this is...
When I say golf thing, I think he works for Fenway Sports Group. And they have deployed him to do other things, not necessarily really the Red Sox. I think he was Breslow's guy. But then again, Breslow was the 10th guy through the door. So it's not like Theo...
13th.
Theo, earmarked one guy and they targeted one guy. No, they sort of just sifted through. Or a lot of guys turned him down and that's what was left. So I don't know what Theo does with the baseball team, Mazz.
Yeah, you know what my theory is? Close to nothing is my theory. They want you to know that Theo's there, but they won't tell you how they use him. Well, that's a nice little trick. So they get to what? They get the PR benefit of having Theo and the FSG and the FS Sports Group, Fenway Sports Group. They get the benefit of saying, well, Theo's back. You should have confidence in us. Well, not if he's doing jack. Who gives a rat's ass if he's here or if he's not really engaged and part of the process?
You're saying it's just a PR thing?
Yeah, I do. I think it's a PR thing. I think it's a complete freaking sham.
Well, that doesn't sound like them.
So apparently he was consulted or sat in on some of these meetings about Cora. Did you read this part?
No.
Okay, so apparently he was part of it, and I would say, okay, great. So if Henry says we should fire Cora and Theo says no, who wins?
Well, in that case, it would have been Henry.
Okay, so to me, that's complete garbage. Look, I think the world of Theo Epstein as an executive, if they want to bring him back and make him what Larry Lucchino was, fine, no problem. Tell us, make him available, let him be there on a daily basis. If it's just going to be one of these, perfunctory or superficial roles, at least as it pertains to the Red Sox, well then F off. I'm not buying in on that one anymore. I think it's complete bullcrap.
Feels that way. Does it feel like anything's been different between Bloom, Breslow? I mean, you feel the influence of Theo Epstein anywhere?
No. In fact, I would say it's gotten worse. The Red Sox have become anonymous. They have a bunch of guys who never built any reputation anywhere, and they've turned it over to inexperienced people on every level. Manager, coaching staff, GM, right down the lot to the roster. They got a bunch of guys that nobody knows. If you ran them over with a bus, you wouldn't have any idea who they were. The large majority of them. Tell me what Epperson, the third base coach, looks like.
Never. Well, I don't know. I've never heard of him before this, or I still don't. I don't know what he looks like.
And I'm not dumping on him. He might be a good guy. Came from Double-A, probably a lifetime ball player or baseball person. I don't doubt any of that stuff. But in this market, you can't have a freaking Double-A operation, which is what they have.
Long commercial-free segment comes your way next.
Felger and Mazz continues on the Sports Hub.
I am for formulas. I said this last week.
The Celtics are more formula than fantastic. Okay, but I'm for formulas. The Seahawks ran the ball all year. And then circumstances changed, and in the NFC Championship, Sam Darnold threw 36 times, and they only ran it 19 because the Seahawks, because of the game script, had to adjust their formula. Boston, in Game 7, trails by a point with 3:49 left. They jacked up 7 threes and went 0 for 7. Like, get a basket. And I've said this before. I am all for formulas, and I understand analytics, but I prefer Manalytics, which is in the playoffs, get a bucket and get a stop. And this year, the Celtics were 29-0 when they shot over 40% in threes. But when they didn't, they're a 500 team. In the last 3 games in this series, they couldn't hit anything. And so that is why the Celtics seasons, they just hinge on this formula. But, boy, they just did not adjust. I mean, the end of that thing, you're trailing by a point, not even a bucket, with 3:49 left, and you shoot 7 threes, you miss all of them. Adjust.
Colin Coward with more common sense analysis. The analytics, you're not going to escape it in today's sports world. It's taken over. These dumbass owners, these dumbass, what am I trying to say, legacies. All these kids that are taking over these teams from their parents apparently aren't equipped to make their own calls or just can't figure it out. So they're just turning it over to the analytics departments. And so all these teams are going to be analytically driven. But the difference is, do you have people in place who know when to apply it and when not to? Like, I think, for example, Mike Vrabel and John Stryker are analytically driven. But I think we saw some cases throughout the course of the year where they put aside probably what the analytic book would say and went with like a football decision, whether taking a field goal or, certainly they pushed it sometimes too. But I think with Vrabel and Stryker, you might see a little bit of that blend.
Mm-hmm.
Where you say, there were a couple times, Mazz, wasn't it? Where
yes, definitely.
He took 3 points going into the half because he wanted to say, maybe it was Buffalo. It was a couple of those games. He said,
Game at Buffalo earlier in the year.
I wanted to have a lead at half.
Yep.
Which is a human thing, right? The way your team's going to feel in the locker room at halftime.
It was that Buffalo game, I'm pretty sure. Keep going.
With a lead, even if it's a 3-point lead versus the analytics saying, well, you got to go for 7 there. So, and that's just one that jumps to mind. That I think that Vrabel has the ability to, when the time calls for it, make a human decision versus the analytics. I don't think Missoula does. I don't think he's got it. And so this is why you see the Celtics down a point, shooting 7 3-pointers and kicking out for corner threes when all they need is a 2 or a foul and a free throw because Joe doesn't put aside the analytics.
It's mind-blowing. It is. It's mind-blowing. And again, I know you've been on this for a long time, but it really is, and you've articulated it extremely well.
Thank you.
But like the whole idea of we're just going to keep doing it because the more we take, the more likely we are to come out at 36%. So just keep shooting them, guys. It's so stupid. So if you have a layup, you should give it up?
Yeah, he doesn't like layups.
It's unbelievable. It blows me away that you could be that committed to it. It's like, it's cultish. It is. It's that kind of thinking. It's like you're some sort of radical and you can't understand. No, just lay it in. Get the 2. What the hell are you doing? He doesn't get it.
Speaking of Vrabel, it's been a couple days since we just gave you the latest on Vrabel, Rossini, that whole offseason drama. There's a thought out there that it's not over. And, why wouldn't it be over? We'll just give you a quick couple minutes on that. We'll get back to your calls. We'll do it all after Murray gets you updated. 90 seconds, no commercials here.